Okay, these are my findings. The ongoing learning experience. I'm calling it a science project. My findings with regards to that which influences all things in the realms of creativity, like poetry, theater, art, music. Okay, because um, there are people that are, I would say, right, they're looking for an excuse to just, like, they just want to smack you, right? And I know this is like, where are you coming from with all this, right? Being that there's no conclusive evidence that the earth is round or flat, right? Or that um, party affiliations is nothing more than a cool club where you get to be antithetical. So if you go to the places where it's considered, to be the right because of the dichotomization that we engage in, right? They're going to be antithetical beliefs and views there that they don't, uh, where it's like the left, you're going to find the same thing, right? If you go to Oakland or San Francisco, you're still going to see, um, like, well, like, for instance, there was a Mexican immigrant population, and they had a microphone in downtown San Francisco, right, blasting their voice, and they were speaking with the Bible and waving their hands in the air and condemning all the gays, right? Saying, basically, you're sinning in the eyes of God, right? Which is a whole nother area, right? Because he didn't say anything about lesbians. He was just saying man with other men, which I kind of might question God's honesty if he feels like two women kissing or making out or getting down or whatever is sinning in his eyes. And I was like, kind of like, I don't know, maybe for a God, not for people, you know. But I kind of wouldn't like. That's one of those instances where you kind of would want to like, I don't know, like, to each his own. There's no, so there's a lot of condescension that comes out of this area. Like, you believe this? Oh, you believe that? And it's the dichotomy, the dichotomization, right? Like, how come I'm not on the left right now? I never changed, you know. And I think it is just your beliefs, right? So beliefs come out of evidence, conclusive evidence, to become something that you could state as knowledge, right? You make a statement of a truth statement to try to abridge an argument, and then you'll make an argument, and the argument will stand as a what's it called, common ground to the people that you're conferring with, and you build on those, and eventually things will become belief. Some of them, not all of them. So, uh, yeah, you're a dummy because you don't believe this because the evidence is so overwhelming. But I will always be able to find, like, a non-conclusive origin of there's always a, I can make it up. Do you forget about that? You know what I mean? Because, like, you would think that that is the act of believing. If I can make up a let's say, I'm not shooting holes in your argument. I'm just saying that they're not conclusive, and here's why. You were like, that's outlandish. How is that ever even the thing? Like, but is it a possibility? That's all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll want to espouse beliefs, but we are making arguments right now, and that's where it's like people will start to just talk shit. They're just like, oh, you're a dumbass, fuckhead. You don't get it. You still don't get it. But then you're trying to knock holes in a belief to test it, to see if you if you prefer the knowledge, if you prefer that knowledge, because you're you're going to gain a, an attitude from a perspective, and that attitude can be dyspeptic, and maybe you don't like the setup, and if you don't like the setup, then maybe you need your ass kicked, and that's what anybody knows, right? I'm not. That's not how I feel, you know. But there is that, and I mean, there seems to be a lot of that out there. It's just like looking for people, spoofing for people, like who's not coming with the full strength of the ritual, what's uh, what is your purpose for existing? That's the one. I bet you that's the one. And when I get my hands around that, I'm gonna choke it. I'm gonna choke it. You don't know me. What the fuck are you on about? Yeah, what are you on about? But okay, I mean, we get a flat Earth model from the UN. We get a ball Earth model from your favorite sports team, right? They involve like catalysts and eschatology, and then it's like rise to power is a rendition of sound. How do we derive credit? Like we're using a credit system based on a element on the periodic table that we have to verify that we're holding it, but we're not allowed to see. We can't we can't send someone in every day as a representative of all the people who want to do commerce to check to make sure that um, we're really not debt buying agency, because I don't want to be a debt buying agency. I'm still working right now to some gain, and I want to contribute that gain to a purpose that I'm derising. That's where's the American dream, right? Manifest, you know, and I want to find an intrinsic store of value to give me speed, to give me efficacy, to make me more um, to expedite the needs and to bulwark the stress from the women and all these things that we want to see ourselves as. Because until you have 31 degrees of discipline and you're a provider, then you're not a adult, right? Because you're not your social responsibility comes from not requiring or having placing requirements or needs on anybody else, right? And uh, that's a liberal arts, the Kabbalah, the Kalipoth, and these things like that people don't want to teach us because they don't want to fuck us up. And considering that maybe we know it's innate wisdom, right? And so there's a danger that the teacher could be like a fool in the wrong place, just standing in the wrong place. And we don't know that, but he doesn't want to really be there when it's discovered, or she doesn't want to be there when they're discovered. But we don't know yet, you know what I'm saying? And some of them don't like us already, even that we don't understand this yet.